Hello and welcome to the Jank Bank. My name is Brad and I'll be your host as we explore fun, unusual, and unique commander decks that can still hold their own and win games. As a quick disclaimer, these decks are tuned to my own personal budget and meta, so feel free to make changes as necessary. The commander for today's deck is Grismold the Dreadsower, a 3/3 Troll Shaman with Trample for 1 black-green. With Grismold in play, at the beginning of our end step, each player gets a 1/1 plant token. And whenever a creature token dies, we put a +1/+1 counter on Grismold. Grismold is a highly flexible commander, and a strong leader for Reanimator, Aristocrats, Group Hug, or even Voltron decks. For this build, however, we're going to be leaning into Aristocrats pretty heavily. An important point to make here is that Grismold will trigger off of any token dying, not just our own, and not just the ones coming into play on our end step. So we have things like Squirrel Nest, Ant Queen, and Tendershoot Dryad, to keep a healthy board full of tokens. Ant Queen also doubles as a mana sink, which is going to play into our overall strategy. We also have some explosive plays with Avenger of Zendikar, Fungal Sprouting, and Gelatinous Genesis. These cards provide us with value in the form of lots of tokens very quickly, and in the right situation, we can close out games through the sheer power of our tokens. Phyrexian Altar, Ashnod's Altar, and Altar of Dementia give us free sack outlets and tremendous value. We can use the mana generated here to make more tokens, or just take away a sizable chunk of an opponent's deck. We also have payoffs outside of Grismold with Dictate of Erebos to keep the board nice and clear, Black Market, which can generate insane amounts of mana, and Poison Tip Archer, which eats away at our opponent's life totals. Alright, now it's time to get silly. Equipping Helm of the Host to either our Commander or Avenger of Zendikar will end a game in short order. Revel in Riches is going to generate a ton of mana for us, as well as give us an alternate win con. And Overwhelming Stampede is a really fun surprise win, especially if Grismold has gone unanswered long enough to get huge. And now that we've been through the deck, let's go down to the battlefield of Jank to see it in action. Let's start things off with a relatively simple combo. Say we have a Revel in Riches and a Grismold that's been in play for a while, giving the entire table a pretty healthy supply of tokens. Now we drop Massacre Girl, wiping the entire board except for herself and our now absolutely massive Grismold. We can also use our mana producing altars to produce some top tier shenanigans, such as sacrificing a large board of tokens for mana and dumping that mana into a Gelatinous Genesis to make some very large Jello molds. Lastly, Altar of Dementia is a great way to punish our opponents at instant speed. In response to a board wipe, we can sack our tokens one by one before sacrificing Grismold itself to mill a very large portion of some unlucky opponent's library. And that's going to do it for today's deck. The full list is in the description below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, so please let me know in the comments, or in our Discord server, also in the description. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest episodes. The Jank Bank is brought to you entirely by the incredible generosity of our patrons. If you'd like to join them in supporting the channel, click the link in the description below. And with that, we bring the show to a close. See you next time, happy holidays, and as always, stay janky.